Okay, we're going to start just to show to those that they have the expectation that this is Greece and everything starts late, that there are exceptions to the rule. Good morning, my name is Gregory Papanikos. I'm the president of this World Association of Academics and Researchers, and I'd like to welcome all of you to Athens, Greece. I want to Professor Koulos, our Vice President, will do a more formal presentation of our association, but I'd like to grab the opportunity and say a few words for some issues that usually people, academics, misunderstood us. And of course, it's us to blame why there is a misunderstanding. First of all, the word institute sometimes is confused with MIT. Let me explain from the beginning that we are not MIT. We want to become one, but it will take as much time as it took MIT to become what it is today. So if you compare our first 20 years with the first 20 years of MIT, I think we outperformed them. But still, to verify this hypothesis will take centuries. Now, we are an association, and I'd like to explain that, and you are more than welcome to join us. The reason, and of course, we are not a Greek association. We are a world association. We have more than, I think now, we have 2,200 members, and only 7 come from Greece, and 2, they are not Greeks. They are located in Greece. And sometimes people say, especially Greece, this is the reason why we are successful. We have isolated the disturbances. But apart from that, there is a mission. Our mission is to make Athens a place where people from all over the world, that's why the Greeks are excluded, from all over the world can come and meet in Athens, always in Athens. And this has some historical roots. It goes back 3,000 years ago, when Pericles in the same city, he said, using the words of Thucydides, an ancient historian, that our city, and he meant Athens, is open to the world, so people can come, see and learn. So we try to revive this idea, and of course revive 2 important universities or schools, if you want, of ancient Athens. One was the Lyceum of Aristotle, and the other, of course, was Plato's Academy. And both of them, their location, are very close to this hotel. You can walk there. It takes about 15, 20 minutes. So that's our idea. Our idea is to bring people from all over the world, and even our membership, it's from 115 different countries. United Nations has, I think, close to 200 countries. So we have a lot of work to do, so we can have people from all the countries, academics and researchers from all countries in the world. Because I'll give you a definition of Greekness, so to understand the importance of what is going on around the world. Of course, nationality, most of the people, they like to define their nationality in terms of DNA, in terms of blood, in terms of heritage. But there was a not well-known ancient Greek philosopher that defined Greekness as all those people that they have Greek education. And Greek education means freedom and balanced education. Freedom of speech, of course, because you cannot have a good education if you don't have a freedom of speech, and balanced education if you don't combine this with sports and arts. And that was very important in ancient Athens. So all educated people are Greeks. So my fellow Greeks, welcome to your home place. That's the idea. So we are a Greek institute in that sense. Since you are educated people, all academics, by definition, they are educated people. And this is the serious of our matter. Now, this is very big things, mouthful things, but I'll tell you why we call ourselves an association for some small things. One reason is, if we called ourselves an association and not institute, it's very difficult for you to write off expenses. Because nobody will trust an association, but they trust an institute. So that's for you guys. And second is, and this again, it's more important than the first one, a lot of academics, when Atiner was found in Toronto, almost more than 20 years ago, they wanted to have a base in Athens, Greece, for whatever affinity they had with ancient or modern Greece, so they can do research projects and they can take a year off from their school and do sabbatical. And this is the reason why, unfortunately, we use the word institute. So we can help our world members. They can come if they want to do some research and some external funding. It helps if we call ourselves an institute. Of course, in the long run, that means 500 years down the road, we can become the MIT that I envision in my opening speech. Now, turning to logistics, I like to explain from the beginning, because some people, they come or they go to conferences and they start complaining from minute one until they leave. It's a tradition, doesn't matter if they come to Athens or not. Usually we have a good administration, but still we can improve. We're not perfect, we're improving. Perfectionists is something for those that they don't do anything. But improvinists are people that they do something and they say, tomorrow we'll do it better, we'll learn. We have two administrators here that if you want to ask any question about administration, about logistics, you can ask Olga. She has a nice smile. And if you don't like women, you can ask Vasilis. So we have all the preferences, because some people don't like women, some people don't like men, so we have a choice. They're going to be around, and you can ask them about membership. You can ask them about 3 or 4 things that we do here and we want your contribution. First, you can, if you like what we are doing, and only if you like what we are doing, because it's very difficult for us to change just for you. It's not custom-made, the Institute. You may take the lead next year and organize a panel or even an entire conference. And even if you don't like some things, maybe with your contribution, these things can be improved. But make sure that you have the money and the time to implement whatever you suggest. Because with my time and my money, everything looks much easier for you. So please, whenever you do a proposal, don't tell me that for next year we'll invite 10 keynote speakers that tomorrow will receive the Nobel Prize and the cost will be €1 million. I can do it with less than that if you give me the money. So make sure that your suggestion has a cost-benefit analysis in terms of time and money, because otherwise you cannot implement. Scarce resources is something that all associations face. That's one thing. Second thing, and this can be done without coming again, unfortunately we are forced to publish or perish. There are thousands of journals and books that are published around the world. But again, for the reason that I explained, as an institute, some of our members, they said, it's a good idea if you start publishing, particularly now that the cost is almost minimal in terms of hard money, in terms of printing an e-journal, but still the cost is tremendous in terms of processing an e-journal. And starting 2 or 3 years ago, we published 15 of them, 15 of them. And it's a lot of work. And of course, academics around the world, even though they get angry when others do not meet their deadlines, very rarely they meet their own deadlines. And of course, when you send a paper and then you complain why the review process is not through yet, the reason is because some other academic like yourself that you complain does not process the review, because usually we do it very fast. And of course, that's why it takes up to 1 year before a final decision. There are good exceptions to that, I should say, tendency. would like to thank all of them that they not only they respond, but they do a very good job. We'd like to continue with the journals. Of course, we have other projects as well. Professor Poulos will do, as I said, the formal presentation of Atiner, and I'd like to invite our Vice President to take the floor and impress you with our institute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Papanikos. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, from me, on behalf of the Athens Institute for Education and Research, Atiner for short. I'd like to welcome you to Athens and to this conference. Just came to, by way of introduction, say a few words about the Institute. Atiner was established in 1995, and its mission has been to act as a forum where academics and researchers from all over the world can come together this historic cradle of democracy, Athens, in order to exchange ideas on their research, to interact with each other, and to discuss future developments in their disciplines within an environment of respect for each other's opinions and beliefs. After all, the free expression of one's opinion formed the basis for the development of democracy, and as it turned out, the golden age of Athens was in fact the golden age of Western civilization. Education and searching or researching for the truth are the pillars of any free democratic society. And this is the reason why education and research are the two core words in Atiner's name. It is Atiner's mission to revive the glory of ancient Athens by inviting the world academic community to the city. And over 95% of our members are from institutions outside Greece, and our conferences are designed in such a way as to cater mainly for foreign academics. The basic activities of Atiner include firstly the organizing and hosting of international conferences and symposiums such as this one. Secondly, the carrying out of research. And thirdly, the production of various publications. These are the three cornerstones that drive the Institute, so to speak. And as you'll note in the course of this conference, cross-discipline sessions have also been arranged to address and accommodate the importance of interdisciplinary research in this globalized world that we live in. Since 1995, Atiner has organized more than 400 international conferences and other events, and has published close to 200 books. Atiner has also organized numerous roundtable discussions and public speeches on topical issues. And for a list of these, you may consult Atiner's website. The Institute is also currently involved in an ambitious project regarding the proposed establishment of an academic village. The aim is to establish a community of research scholars and academics, and the proposed village will include a conference center, living facilities, as well as facilities for research and recreation. And you'll find more information on this in your file. Now, turning to today's formal activities, you should each have a program by now. And you'll note that where there are parallel sessions, you will choose, of course, which session to go to. Please note, and this is very important, that each presentation is limited to 15 minutes. The chairpersons will keep time and will use 3 and 1 minute reminder cards. And I'd like to ask the chairs to adhere strictly to the time constraints, and please allow for questions and discussion after all the papers have been presented and not after each paper. The chairpersons must also fill out the report forms that they'll be receiving. This is important because the final program will be based on the chairperson's reports. Should you need to make use of technical facilities in your presentation, please confirm that everything is in order before the session begins and not during the session. There will always be someone from the admin staff to help you in this regard. Well, you should also, on a lighter note, consult the social program in your file. There's the Greek night tonight, which is to be recommended. Apart from Greek cuisine, there will be lots of Greek music and dancing, and of course you'll be invited to join if you like. And then there's the formal dinner tomorrow night. These are private events that are organized by Atiner exclusively for conference delegates and their accompanying persons. Then there's the cruise, or rather the urban walk tomorrow, followed by the cruise on Wednesday and the visit to the ancient site of Delphi on Thursday. Now, let's say a few words on publications. The Institute is involved with various publications, Firstly, there are the abstracts which are published. We are well aware that some institutions in the world treat abstracts as formal publications. They have their own ISBN number and can of course also be cited. Secondly, the papers that are presented at this conference are placed on the web as part of an online paper series. Once the editing of the papers has been attended to, they will have their own ISSN number and can of course also be cited. The purpose of this publication series is to firstly disseminate information in your paper as quickly as possible, and secondly to allow for feedback in case you wish to make amendments before you submit your paper for publication in a book. And then with regard to book publications, you'll receive an email soon after the conference asking you for a final draft for publication consideration and any other information that may be relevant. All papers that are submitted will go through a referee process before they are considered for publication in a book. And then finally, Atiner has its own journal series which commenced in 2014. We currently have 15 journals which cover various disciplines including yours. Papers submitted for the journals go through a double-blind peer review process which is monitored by an editorial board, and our current acceptance rate is less than 25%. Atiner, of course, does not charge any processing or publishing fee. Right, on the issue of collaboration, we at Atiner would like to collaborate with other institutions such as the ones that you're associated with. Academics, researchers and institutes are invited to collaborate with Atiner on research and education projects. If you're not yet a member of the institute, we'd like you to join and to assist with the reviewing and editing of papers. You're also encouraged to collaborate at future conferences if you like, by submitting proposals for special panel discussions on a theme related to your own specific research. Academics and researchers interested in your particular theme will then be invited by us to participate in the special panel discussion which you yourself will chair. We also have a visiting fellow and visiting researcher program, and for more information on this, you can visit Atiner's website. Well, finally, colleagues, as is clear from the program, you've come from so many different countries, and we at Atiner sincerely hope that you'll make the most of this opportunity to interact with each other, that you'll enjoy this conference, and that you'll go back home with fond memories, not only of this conference, but of Athens and of Greece as well. And most of all, that you'll want to come back to future conferences. Thank you very much and enjoy the conference.